For this next fight, we got a women's fight between Katlyn Chookagian and Manon Fiorot. And Katlyn Chookagian, she's basically fought every girl in the division except for Manon Fiorot. So this matchup was pretty much inevitable. Chookagian actually called out Fiorot in the cage after her last victory. And they had a fight scheduled for September. The September fight was going to be in Fiorot's home country of France. So now they're going to be competing on more neutral ground. I don't know what happened to Chookagian, but she suffered an undisclosed injury that caused her to withdraw. It's been almost 2 months since they were supposed to fight September 3rd. So Chookagian should have had ample time to recover. Chookagian, already after losing in a non-competitive matchup with Valentina, probably will not get a title shot, but if Manon Fiorot is impressive, I do expect her to potentially be in line for a title shot. And Fiorot is that new hotness and the favorite to get the job done here, but Chookagian has a ton of experience. She has more UFC fights than Fiorot has total fights, and Chookagian can compete with anyone if she can continue to pick up these wins over these prospects. At some point, people have to recognize her as a potential all-time great 125er for females, even though she never won the belt. I think this is a huge fight for Katlyn Chookagian in terms of her legacy, because right now I still feel like a lot of people still think of Katlyn Chookagian as that boring girl that picks up decisions, and they don't really think of her that highly, even though she's picked up some real high-level wins. If she can go out there and beat Manon Fiorot as the underdog and get a dominant win or even a win in general, I think that'll go a long way in terms of people starting to really appreciate what Katlyn Chookagian has been able to do over these years that she's been in the UFC. I mean, she's 11-4 in 15 UFC fights, and I feel like she deserves a little bit more respect than she gets. But Manon Fiorot is a tough out, and she's going to be facing a girl that's, tall, long, rangy. And the Beast isn't a proper nickname for Manon Fiorot because she may be the best athlete in the entire division. On the feet, she likes to be all the way in or all the way out. Good lateral footwork, in and out movement. She dart in and darts out with 1-2s, 3-2s. She has fast hands and she'll throw heat. She also uses her lead leg sidekick almost as a jab to try to keep the distance. And if you get inside on her, she will get a little bit spastic and just throw heavy punches to try to get fighters to back away. And Fiorot is used to being the taller opponent. If you look at Fiorot's career, she's actually only had one fight, amateur or pro, where an opponent was taller than her. And that person was Leah McCourt, and Fiorot lost that fight. That fight was at 135 pounds, and McCourt missed weight for the fight. So there were some other disadvantages Fiorot had outside of the height. But I think it's worth noting that she's never beaten an opponent taller than her, and Katlyn Chookagian is taller. And Manon Fiorot does not have the best defense to me. She floats her chin out there. She holds her hands low. She'll pull back with her chin right in the air. And that's risky against someone like Katlyn Chookagian, who's long. Good job of setting up her high kicks with feints, with a double jab. And if she can't get back up Fiorot, get her to pull back with a feint or a jab, then unleash that head kick, she could land flush. We saw Jennifer Maia land a head kick on Manon Fiorot, who's a much shorter girl with less kick dexterity than Katlyn Chookagian. And Fiorot also drops her hands when she throws punches in the pocket. I think the jab at Chookagian could be a big factor. And Fiorot is susceptible to leg kicks. She had a ton of them against Mayra Bueno Silva. I think on the feet, Katlyn Chookagian, with their pressure, her length, her boxing, her feints, and combos, will actually have a slight edge on Fiorot. So I think Fiorot is going to need to mix it up and wrestle here. With Katlyn Chookagian, we have a girl that I think is an underrated striker. She's super long, rangy. She has some elite level boxing. She can switch stance, throw a double jab too. She's getting a lot, in my opinion, more recently in her last few fights. She's gotten a lot more comfortable letting go with their combinations, throwing with more power, and throwing, more shots that are more impactful. Before in her career, she did kind of get that rap where she was throwing a lot at the air and she was kind of a runner. And she still kind of has that style. I think in this fight, she's going to implement that similar game plan. But she has, in recent fights, sat down more, landed big shots, big punches, and been a lot more better with her offense in terms of actually landing and doing damage. And I think the kicks could be a big factor in this fight if it stays standing. I think the leg kicks, the body kicks, setting up the head kicks by going low with the kicks for Chookagian early and then coming up high, along with the jab, just trying to touch Fiorot. She tries to come inside. And you just have to take advantage of the defensive errors that Fiorot makes. And Fiorot is super beastly, like her nickname says, so she does throw heat and she throws very fast. So if she connects clean on Chookagian with some punches, then I think she could get her respect. But Chookagian is very durable. I've never seen anyone knock her out. I mean, she did get finished with the body shots against Andrade, but not any headshot knockouts that I've seen. And, I feel like Katlyn Chookagian can make competitive on the feet. But Manon Fiorot is a good wrestler. She's very big, strong for the weight. She has good timing on her body lock takedowns, good clinch control against the cage. Her doubles are not bad either. Sometimes she could shoot the double from too far out, but she's gotten a lot of takedowns in the UFC and been able to dominate with her grappling the majority of the time. On top, Fiorot has good control. She is an elite on the ground. I think Chookagian may struggle to get back up to her feet if she is taken down against Fiorot, though. And I do think Fiorot is going to be looking to mix it up, hit takedowns, put Katlyn Chookagian against the fence, and try to stop Chookagian from kicking. You know, maybe make her a little bit worried to kick by catching her kick and taking her down. And Fiorot, you know, her takedown defense is not really proven. I doubt it'll get tested here. She was briefly taken down by Jennifer Maia, but was able to reverse position. And strength-wise, I think Fiorot has a big advantage, so that's another reason why I think she should use the grappling. But cardio-wise, I do think Fiorot does slow down a little bit. I think she doesn't have the greatest cardio. I would give the edge in the cardio to Katlyn Chookagian. And with this fight being in Abu Dhabi, that's another interesting wrinkle. Both these girls have had to travel a pretty decent amount, and we're going to see who that affects more. But in terms of the grappling for Chookagian, I feel like her takedown defense is a little bit subpar, and I do feel like she can get controlled against the cage and taken down in this fight. But she is, I believe, a brown belt under John Danaher, and her jiu-jitsu is pretty good. I mean, she does a good job of staying safe with her full guard. I think in this fight, if she fights for us, she should attack the legs, go for leg locks, try to create sweeps, because we saw Jennifer Maia be effective with that. And you know anything about John Danaher, you know the leg locks are on point with you know, that team. And she isn't training with them now. Obviously, Danaher has moved on from that camp, or from New York, New Jersey area. But yeah, man, I still think that she still has some great partners to train jiu-jitsu with, and she has that background. And I think she is the better jiu-jitsu fighter. But if she just ends up getting held down on her back or held against the cage, then Fiorot could win a boring decision. And I kind of feel like Fiorot is going to try to, you know, slow the fight down and really use her grappling to just control and take the fight that way. And I feel like she's going to be able to probably do it. I just think she has the strength advantage on Chookagian and the wrestling advantage. I don't think Chookagian is good enough off her back to threaten enough to get back up to her feet or threaten submissions to win off bottom. So I think that Chookagian is just going to spend too much time against the cage and on the ground. I think the striking is going to be competitive, and I think Chookagian is actually going to have the slight edge and surprise some people with their striking. But I just think that Manon Fiorot is going to be able to use her wrestling and more her strength, and kind of just be able to stall out a victory with some control time.